Hello, I'm Dawny and today I'm here to show you how to put together one of these gorgeous little gingerbread houses. I say gingerbread houses, but you could use them for anything. Thinking outside the box, you could use them for Halloween. They'd make a fantastic haunted house. How about a crafty shed? Shed for your dad, tree house for the kids, beach hut, you name it, you could do it with these. They'd be awesome as well if you know somebody that was moving house for a new home. So today we're going to use it as a gingerbread house. Okay, so what do you get in the set? Well, you're getting all these dies. The verso, so it's a verso set, so you're getting inside and outside edges. You get the choice of, I'll show you on this piece here. This is one of your outside edges. You can see that's got a scalloped edge, so you can have that, or you can have a straight edge as well. It's up to you. These here are your two main pieces, and you're going to cut two each of those. I'll show you this one here. You probably can't see it on here, but this actually opens. It's so sweet. We're going to cut one of those in a second. Same with your windows, they all open. You've got a choice, little hearts or plain. You get a chimney, you get a roof part, I think they're called eaves. So you're getting, again, this is verso, so you've got your outside and your inside, and they just finish the roof off beautifully. You get a little Christmas tree, and you're getting two gingerbread people. Don't forget you can use these on your cards and projects as well, so not just for this. So let's get started and we'll put one together. Just move those out of the way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut one of our main parts here. Now, because there's quite a lot of cutting with this set, I have cut some pieces already so that you don't get bored just watching me turning the handle on the machine. All your score lines are put in for you, so there's no measuring, there's no scoring, it's just construction. There you go, you can see them there, they're all put in. Okay, so we need two of those, and I've cut up one of those already, and I've also gone ahead and cut the two other main parts of the house, which is the door and the back. Okay, how you decorate it is entirely up to you. So I've kept this one, I'm saying quite plain. It's not really, you've still got an awful lot of detail. So what else I'm going to cut out now? I'm going to cut one of these doors. So I'm going to cut my base piece with my outside edge, and I've gone with the scallop one, but as I say, they do it, there's a straight edged die in there as well. So we'll just cut that, and then I'm going to cut another one in white, and that's the one I'm going to add for my inside edge to. So there's one, and then there's another piece of white card on here to cut that out. As always, you've heard us say it before, best not to put two dies through together, because if they do cross, you've ruined your dies, and it's not just one die, it's two. So put them through separately. Better safe than sorry. Okay, so now we've cut that out, so I'm going to add my inside edge to this, and I would recommend that you tape it down just so it doesn't move. There we go, so add a little bit of tape, low tap tape, and we run that through the machine again. And what I always do, anything that's sort of fancy like this, I'll just turn it over and just have a little look to see if it's cut. Now that one has. If it hadn't, I'd just pop it through the machine again. But these dies very rarely don't cut. Just if your cardstock was a little bit too thick. It's going to pop out all these little bits here, like this. And can you see these little doors? They open. So cute. There we go. That's it. Okay, now the only other thing I've got to cut is the roof. And I've got to cut the chimney as well. Forgot about that. So I'll just grab the chimney die and I'll show you this. Again, all the score lines are put in for you, and you've got that lovely detail there. So this is our little chimney. There we go. And you know, you could make a whole village full of these little houses. They're so sweet and they're very, very easy. Can you see? It's got, you probably can't see it on this white card, but it's actually put some embossing detail as well. And you've got your score lines. Okay. So now we can start to construct the house. Just one more piece to go. And that is our little eaves part. Now I've gone ahead and cut the outside edge already. So I just want to pop in here the inside edge. Let's get these dies out of the way. There we go. And again, because I don't want it to move, I'm going to tape it down. Once I've made sure it's nice and even. There we go. I'm going to run that through our machine. As I say, you do have the choice whether you open this at the top or whether you open this at the bottom. This house here, I'm going to leave it as a bottom opening gift box. And of course, you don't have to have it open at all. You could seal up both ends if you just want it as an ornament. Let's get rid of those. There we go. That's the beauty of these dies. They give up the cardstock so easily. There we go. Right, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to stick down all my oopsie-daisy pieces before we start. And the way I do it is, let's get them all ready. A little bit of glue on the back of my hand. There we go. Spread it out. When you're putting your glue on, I'll do this piece first, just especially on these doors and windows, just make sure that you don't actually put any glue on any parts that are going to open. So obviously I want to make sure that that's not stuck down, so I'll just add it around the edge. This is another way of doing it. If you don't want to put it on the back of your hand, you can put the glue straight onto the die piece, like so. There we go. Oh, some glue on the mat. So what we've got there, we've got our doors, and I've kept this door so that these pieces open. And on this piece here, this is a little wreath. You can go in there with your pens. You can add your glitters, your Nuvo drops, if you want to do that on that piece. We've got 2 windows. We've got 1 roof. And we just need our last roof, which is somewhere around. Did I cut that? Just need to cut. Sorry, die cut's not finished. Just run this last piece through, and I promise you, we are done then with the die cutting. There we go. That's better. There we go. Get rid of those. Get rid of that, and we're just going to stick this last piece down. The detail in this, it really does look like a little house out of a fairy tale. There we go, let's put those on there. Okay, so there are our pieces. We've got our 2 roofs and our eaves, we've got our 2 doors, and we've got our 2 windows. And our little chimney, all you do, crease those pieces in like that, and like that. And I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape, this red line tape, which is very strong. And that goes on this short tab here. Just like that. And then that will fold in like that. Okay. This bit here, you bend it and tuck it in. I will add a little bit of glue to that, so that can be sticking while we do the rest of it. Okay, I'll just put my craft pick in there. Make sure that that's it. That's gluing now. So we'll leave that to one side. this is how it's going to sit. You're going to have a long piece, a short piece, a long piece, a short piece. And the pointed end of your shorter piece is at the top along with the tabs. Okay, so let's take off the tape on the side flaps first, like this. And get it off. Okay, and that section there fits on the centre section. If I turn it sideways on, it's easier to see. That section there goes on that section there. So just line it up. Oops. It's moving. There's one. And then this one here will go on there. And then finally these. I'm not going to take the red backing strip off, the backing tape rather, off the double-sided just yet, because it tends to stick to itself when you get in a pickle. There's one. There's two. Now it is easier to decorate this when it's flat, so we'll go ahead and do that before we do any more. That's that. Okay, so these are our little windows and they're going to sit on there. So that's one. And then we want a door. Like that. That's it. Another little window. And then finally, that last piece on there. Okay. These little pieces underneath the window, they'd make a nice, you could put tiny little flowers, or you go in there with your Nouveau drops, they'd look lovely. Now usually you can, when you're constructing these boxes, you can lay them flat, but with this one, you need to sort of do it like this. That's one piece there, and one piece there, like that. There we go. Now for the roof, just make sure I can bend these in. Yes, I can. Get these out of the way. Just bend those out of the way because we don't want them for a moment. So I'm going to take all our tape off now. This stuff's good, but oh, it gets everywhere. Last piece. There we go. And then that simply just glues into place like this. Now if you wanted to have a top opener, you would only put glue or tape on one side there. You'd leave the other completely free so that that will sort of fold in. Those tabs, as I say, they sort of fit together, but I don't need them for this, so I'm going to just get a piece of tape and I'm going to tape them down just to keep them out of the way. Like this. It just keeps them out of the way, so when the roof goes on, I'm not going to see that. Okay, for your base, cut this piece up completely off. There we go. That goes in there, that goes in there, like this, and then that, you'll find that last little bit tucks in there, like that. Okay, now onto our roof. Just going to add a little bit of glue on here and a little bit of glue on there, and then that just simply pops on there like that. Give it a minute for the glue to grab. Slide it into place like that. Hold it for a second. There we go. And then this last little piece here, you can see that there's a score line across the centre. That will just bend like that. Give it a crease. I haven't got my bone fold, but if I had, I'd give that a crease with that. And then I'm going to add some glue onto there, and that just simply sits, let's give this another second, sits on the top like that. Then all you've got to do now is add your little chimney. A little bit of glue on there, and your chimney will sit on there. You could use your hot glue gun and it will stick a little bit quicker than the glue I'm using here. And that's your little gingerbread house done. Hope you've enjoyed that, and thanks for stopping by today. Thanks a lot, bye.